Welcome to Earth 2, where superheroes exist and comic book talk is the norm. I'm your host, Vito D. Welcome to the planet.
Welcome to the planet.
About 2 weeks ago, Marvel held their retail summit, and a lot of news has been coming out ever since then, ranging from what Gabriel David said about diversity to Axel Alonso talking about their artists, also involving their slump in sales, and Marvel also confessing that their limited series are just like a death knell for them. So we'll take a quick look at what it all means. So if you don't know who Gabriel David is, he's the VP of sales for when it comes to Marvel's marketing division. And what he said is that based on the slumps of sales that they've been having, they view it as the people didn't want any diversity in comics, that they don't want any female characters in comics as the lead role. So what he means is that he thinks that people aren't buying the new Thor since she's a female, but they would rather have the old Thor. People aren't buying Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, because they don't want her. And that's not the case. What the case is that Marvel went through this whole diversity, in my opinion, and they rushed everything all at once. So when you put out all the new number ones, you're putting them out all at once. And us as comic book buyers, we don't have magic money that just shows up out of nowhere. We don't have an infinite fund for our pull list. So what it all means is that when I go into a comic book store, I have a budget. What it means is that if I have $20, I'm going to have to spend my $20 wisely. If I have $40, I'm going to have to spend it wisely, right? And if new number ones are coming out, I'm only going to pick out the ones that appeal the most to me, or the ones that are closest to me. I'm going to have to drop titles like what I did with Rebirth when they went bi-weekly. And I'm going to have to spend my money wisely, pretty much. What this all means is that if your book doesn't catch my attention, if you don't build up a character for me to actually care about him, I'm not picking it up. What happened with Riri Williams' case is that she was around on the back issues in the Iron Man comics for about 6-7 months, and her what's it called? Her cameos were so small and her roles were so small in that when all of a sudden she became the mantle of Iron Man, I didn't care as much. And that was the problem. I didn't want to pick up Invincible Iron Man because I didn't care about the character. Now, if they would have taken a year or two to build her up to actually make me care about her, and then for me to see actually her come into fruition and take the Iron Man mantle, then I would have loved to picked it up. Don't get me wrong, I did still pick it up, and it's an amazing book. So Brian Michael Bendis has been doing an amazing job at Invincible Iron Man. But the problem is that as well as she's Iron Man, she doesn't go as the name Iron Man. She's going by the name Ironheart, but you still have the name Iron Man in it. So do you not really fully care about these characters to give them their own run? And also, it doesn't mean that we don't want female lead characters. I'm fully in love with Kamala Khan's version of Miss Marvel. It's been an amazing run. And also, Thor, Jane Foster Thor has been she's been kicking ass as Thor. And she's actually had me more involved and more deep into a Thor book than actual Thor, Odin's son. And when he says that female characters don't sell, yeah, you guys are saying that female Thor isn't selling as much, but she's outselling Odin's son Thor. So where's your problem with that? That was my whole problem with the whole thing, is that Marvel's going about it wrong. And since you're putting out all these new number ones all at the same time, I have already 4 comics that I have to pick up, 5 comics personally that I have to pick up, and if you're throwing in 4 extra new titles every week, I'm not gonna spend $4 on an issue that I don't really care about. And that's where the slump is coming from. Another problem that I've had with the Marvel Retail Summit is that Alonso Axel opened his mouth and said that pretty much that they don't care about the artists. That the artists nowadays that they have aren't really as good, and they don't know how to promote them. My problem is that a comic book is 50% your art, 50% written. So what's a comic book without the art? It's just a book. And art pretty much is the most important part, because before we had words, if you go in the caves, we had art. And that's how you depicted and showed what happened throughout history, through art. So if your art doesn't sell, or if you're not giving your artists the credit that they're due, your artists are gonna leave. You already don't have exclusive contracts with artists like DC does. So I mean, besides Scotty Young, but Scotty Young does more variants and everything, and that's what actually sells. Variants, the covers. If you look at a cover, there's been so many times where I go in the dollar bins and I pick up a comic just because of the cover. I'm pretty sure a lot of people do that as well. Or if the cover, or if the art really isn't that good, I'll drop a comic book series because it doesn't catch my attention. It has to, a comic book for me has to work on the written storyline scale, and also on the art. It has to be visually attractive for me to actually have it. I'm not saying attractive in the form that all the girls have to be pretty. I'm just saying that everything has to be beautiful, whether it's the landscape, whether it's the fight scenes, whether it's the characters, the emotion that they've shown. Because there's been a couple comic books as well that are silent issues where there's no writing, and that shows the capability of the artist going and showing you a story without any words. So this pretty much has just been my rant on what the hell happened at the Marvel Retail Summit. Hopefully Marvel gets their shit straight. For more details on this rant and what's been going on this week in comics, please check out our podcast. It's Earth 2 Comic Cast at SoundCloud.com. Again, that's the number 2. So Earth 2 Comic Cast at SoundCloud. Check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Same name. Same name for everything. So it's Earth 2, number 2 again. Comic Cast. For Mo, he's not here. He's probably working out somewhere, getting swole. So it's just Vito D. Alright? Peace. Earth 2 signing out. Go fill your long boxes.